welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for Game 2 of Week 2 of the ESL Premiership. I am Oshin Bloodpenguin Malloy, and joining me is, of course, Rob Ghost of Dreams Price, and we're going to be bringing you the rematch of EXCEL Esports versus Hyperion Esports, who formerly No Org, No Problem. And I'm super excited for this one. Bans already coming in thick and fast. Hyperion picking up this roster. Obviously, No Org, No Problem now have an org, so all the memes are gone. They're dead.
I know, but I mean, I'm happy for the guys as well. I mean, they've been doing great in the tournament, so I wasn't really surprised to see them when they were picked up by Hyperion.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm delighted for them, and good to see teams picking up these kind of decent rosters and making sure that the kind of the teams get their names out there and the sponsorships and everything like that. But let's get back straight into the game as we look at it. It's going to be Twisted Fate, Sejuani, and Varus banned out on the side of EXCEL, with Hyperion banning out the Galio, the Zac, and the Zoe.
Yeah, Galio and Zac is a definite ban against these guys after last week's games. Taxer and Krumel were running amok on those champions. There was just Taxer going in. I'm pretty sure he got like a 4-man ulti as well.
Twice in a row.
Yeah, he was straight into the taunt. It was beautiful to see. I mean, for EXCEL it was, but for Hyperion, not so much. So not surprised to see that too much.
Yeah, we see the bans coming in. They're actually going to go straight away for the Kog'Maw. And ladies and gentlemen, we are on 8.2, so the Kog'Maw is still very, very strong. And actually, the Braum and Jarvan locked in. So Tam Kench, the ultimate protection for the Kog'Maw, still very much available. It looks like it's going to be picked up by EXCEL.
Yeah, they are going to lock that in. So they have a strong bot lane now. Particularly, it's always been a toss-up between Braum and Tam at the moment, between who's the strongest in the bottom side of the map. You kind of get Alistair thrown in when Braum is off the board, but not going to be looking towards that. And the Camille as well. So this is actually something that can be flexed. And you can see it being picked up quite a lot in the jungle. Is going towards top lane a little bit more often, but it does mean that they now have options on the board. And particularly if they want to start throwing bans at this jungle on Hyperion's side, it means that then they've got the Camille in the back pocket. If they start throwing bans towards the top side of the map, great, that's fantastic. We can just throw the Camille into the top side and pick ourselves up the jungle. So it means they've got that flexibility there, which means that Hyperion more than likely will look to pick up a mid laner here and then start to ban away the mid lane more than anything else.
Looks like Dan, though, Dan XD, he is confident and he knows that he wants to go for this Poppy. Like you said, this Camille can go into that jungle role. Poppy, traditionally a counter to that Camille pick, so I'd be very, very curious to see if that Camille is going to go into the jungle or not. But Azir, definitely not going to be in this game, nor is the Tristana.
Yeah, they're going to be banning out the AD carries. Once you've got that Kog'Maw locked in, just try and take away anything else that can be a nuisance, especially when Varus is banned away. So might see something like the Caitlyn banned away here. Have been seeing a little bit of Xayah as well, so could see that taken off the board. But we will have to see. I'm actually excited. I want to see Jinx come back in. I mean, she did get the buffs this time around. We saw Stinky picking up in the LCS, and especially with the kind of the protection that you've got coming through on the side of Hyperion Gaming, this could definitely be a time to bring it out.
Absolutely. Vel'Koz again going to be locked away into the ban pit. That's going to be a little bit annoying for the side of Hyperion, and we've seen them pick out a couple of ones, but I feel like if Dan XD was on, if I was looking at Dan XD and looking at the bans, I'd be annoyed. It's like, they don't respect my Poppy. I need to make them respect it and make them ban it as a guaranteed ban, because he keeps getting this, and it didn't quite work as well as he probably hoped to last week.
Put some respect on it, but
yeah.
I don't know. He hasn't had the greatest showing on it, to be perfectly honest. I mean, he knows how to play the champion. He hasn't fit into it, and I was about to say, can't really punish the Nasts if that's what they decide to go for, and it is, which means that now we're seeing a big top laner coming through for Sendo, and I actually got to say, like, Sendo has picked a lot of different champions in this. We saw the Scion come through. We've seen him on some of the more standard meta picks. Now we're getting the Scion as well. So he is showing the depth of his champion pool right now. And when you're up against the Poppy, not going to be able to manage against this Nasus in the split push role. Now you're locking in the Talia as well, who can just start to roam around the map and be an absolute nuisance as well. We saw GodPro have a fantastic performance on the Sunday as well. So I mean, this is looking like a very good lineup coming through from EXCEL, and I'm not sure how they're going to be able to deal with it on Hyperion, especially when you're looking at their own potential that can come through from everyone on Excel. Camille does fantastic when she's able to get in and get that ultimate down. She's going to have alongside her the Talia, who can get in and be that nuisance. You've got the Tam, who can use that ultimate to cover so much ground and bring the Cogmaw with them to boot. So this is suddenly turning into a very difficult game for Hyperion to keep control of. And as long as Excel can keep the mid game going and ensure that they're in the lead, it means that it's free farm for this Nasus. It's about throwing Hyperion into the chaos and ensuring that while they're trying to toss and turn in this mid game, Nasus is able to farm up and keep that pressure away from them.
That's what it is. Ryze was the final pick for Hyperion, and they've got some decent kind of pieces together, but like you said, the Talia for XL last week was monstrous. The Nasus is so hard to punish when you're a Poppy. There's going to be you're going to expect a lot of pressure from Skedden in that top side, and I just want to see how they make it go. And I still believe that Hyperion, can do a lot with these picks and can do a lot if they get the right stuff in the right positions, but they need all the pieces to fit, whereas the side of XL have a lot more breathing room and a lot more room for error.
Exactly. Okay, great. We get the Nasus ahead. Let him split push galore. We'll just keep pushing out with the Talia there. If we end up getting the Talia ahead, we can throw her into the bottom side of the map or the top side and have her opt into this 1-3-1, which is going to be so fearful as well. And then as well, you've got the late game coming through from the Nasus and the Kog'Maw as well. So this becomes a very dangerous situation for Hyperion to be in. They need to certainly accelerate this game tenfold to stop these champions getting to those later stages of the game. And right now, they are going to struggle to really find a way. Jarvan will need to have his work, will have his work cut out for him, because he needs to get in and start to affect these roles, particularly in that top side of the map. They need to get Dan XD ahead of this Nasus to try and keep him off of this farm and stop him from really scaling up. So I wouldn't be surprised to see the pressure put up there. Alongside that, I think as well, it's going to be XL trying to counteract that with the Camille. So this is going to become a very dangerous lane for both of these guys to be in.
Yeah, it should be very interesting to see. And, XL, they had a pretty nasty loss against Wind and Rain there over the weekend on the Sunday. And I feel like I feel like they're definitely going to come back at this and try and come back a little bit stronger and try and maybe look for a little bit more kind of pressure and a little bit more oomph and proactiveness in their play, because you don't want to be dropping games like that all the time.
Yeah, exactly. And this is what they'd be looking to do. And when you're looking at Excel here as well, they do very well in their vision control, which is where I think they'll be looking to try and catch out Hyperion as well. Hyperion haven't really been able to garner much on the side of vision control. On the opposite side of the map, they're great at getting control from their own side, pushing a little bit into the river, but that's not really going to do you justice when you have to worry about this Talia and where she's roaming to. So this is where I really want to see them take that step up and make sure that they're able to keep the Talia in the mid lane, because this is going to be a big port of call even for the side of XL. Can they get Talia out and really get her influence in the map?
Yeah, we are waiting, ladies and gentlemen, just to get into game, and hopefully we'll be in very, very soon. I imagine there's a little bit of a pause, and players making sure they're 100% obviously again and all that jazz. But looking at the side of Hyperion, new roster, or not, sorry, new organization picking them up from No Org, No Problem now onto Hyperion. Does that add extra pressure? Does that bring any extra kind of, we need to now start taking this seriously? Or do you think they're going to still play their game and try and play it from their point of view?
I think, to be fair, like even just from the name, No Org, No Problem, they don't mind, they don't feel the pressure coming into these games, especially when you're seeing like the likes of Dan XD just pick these comfort champions as well. They're going to be happy. I don't think they really feel the pressure too much. Yes, there's going to be a certain extent where you want to try and compete with the best, but picking up Hyperion as an organization isn't really going to put more onto you. You're already feeling a lot of it, and I'm looking at a Reddick Shield Nasus.
We're still in that meta. I don't get it. Yeah, I think he might have actually trolled a little bit. I think this might be a little bit of a quickly check pro builds, and he saw the first one and actually was a support Nasus and not actually a top lane Nasus. That's how this one went down.
Yeah, the only thing I can see this is that Taxer is going to be doing his namesake and sitting up in the top lane, quite a substantial amount of time for the Nasus to be able to get that gold into his pocket, and that healing as well. I mean, I've seen the bow coins there from Nasus quite a lot, especially in lane. Like the pop, you can't really punish you too much early, allows you to scale up, and when you get the Kleptomancy as well going just full on to get to the late game, very similar to the Gangplank gameplay, but the Relic Shield is definitely a first for me. Maybe I'm not up to, you know, Sendo's just on a different level, but I just don't see how this is going to work out.
Do you think he's just like, don't worry guys, mid-game there's no way I can die. I'll have this shield and I'll just be doing so well. And I'm almost certain that he must have looked up like a pro builds or something and just went, oh, okay, Targon shield works really, really well. Relic shield, we'll get that. And I'll obviously was just like a load of support games from pros recently. But we'll have to wait and see. It could be some unbelievably unknown meta, but we'll leave it for the moment and see if it actually does anything for him.
Yeah, I think it was just misclick, to be perfectly honest, which is probably why we had the pause at the start as well. Kind of going,
yeah.
Well, not going to be coming through, and we'll have to see how he's able to fare with that. Right now, not doing best, has got a little bit of a CS disadvantage against the Poppy. Will be looking to pick it up as it pushes him towards his tower, but you can already see the pressure that Dan XE will be putting down as Stendo attempts to put him.
Yeah, the troubles of having a league with 2 Dans in it, one a jungler, one a top laner on different teams is, as I say that though, we're actually going to see Prem try and push up this top side, but good vision control means that the Camille and the Tilly are both spotted out, and that gives Skedden a little bit of free time to take these Raptors, and he'll be pretty happy with that chicken dinner.
Yeah, Jarvan was also spotted though on the ward that's in the Pimple Brush in River, so they know that he's gone in to take the Raptors, which is why you see Camille try to answer, and Kimmel even is just trying to put a little bit of pressure down to allow his jungler to sneak that camp, but there's a lot of pressure coming down from Skedden and Mystic Run, who've already moved in towards that area, so he won't be able to find it that easily, although I think he's training with the Jarvan right now.
Oh, as I say that though, it's going to be the Camille who gets caught up, and First Blood traded out 1 for 1. Skedden trading his life over to take Taxer, and Taxer definitely went a little bit too ham, but overall getting the First Blood, I don't know if it's 100% worth, but it definitely feels a little bit better on the side of Hyperion.
Yeah, having that on the mid laner is going to help out quite a lot, especially when you're looking at Talia who wants to try and push in against this Rise and then get the roams off. Being able to work her way up towards those mana items a little bit earlier will help out to a certain extent, but don't forget you've also got the Jarvan is picking up that First Blood, has been able to pick up those extra vision, that extra wards as well through the jungle item, so this is where it's going to become a little bit more difficult for the Talia to get those roams off, because they should, in theory, have that vision shut down.
Yeah, 1 for 1 trade, negligible gold lead in favor of XL, and it's all about how this, I feel like a lot of this is how this mid lane goes as well, because the mid lane is where the Camille and the Jarvan from, the both junglers are going to look to try and make their advantages. You get the Rise going, great. The Talia can do nothing, no roams. Unfortunately, same thing happens the other side. If you get Cromel going on this Talia, then your side lanes just suffer so much. Both these teams have so much mobility with their mid laners, and I'm expecting big things from bot and top.
And this is the thing, usually you see, okay, Kog'Maw tank cage, they're not going to be a lane that you really want to gank because they haven't got much pressure there. They don't have the engage, particularly into a Brahmin and Ezreal. Oh, actually, hang on a second.
Oh, as we say that, though, it's going to be Taxer going in. He takes a turret shot, though, and he has no flash. He's going to go down at Skedden, picking himself up his 3rd kill over aggression. And I feel like Taxer, he's not as practiced on this champion, and it's really starting to show.
Yeah, he went on the aggressive first dive, nearly out to pick up the kill, but ends up forfeiting the First Blood. And now again, they look for the 2v2 in the mid, and the skirmish is going in favor of Hyperion as well. There's very little that now Cromwell is able to do in this mid lane, as the Rise, sitting on 0-0-3, has his tier completed, will be able to pick up that Catalyst, and suddenly that First Blood that we we're talking about going in his favor is not looking like such a shining light anymore.
Not at all, and while this is all happening, we actually see Dan XD picking up a nice little bit of a CS lead. Kind of understandable to see how much, with the amount of pressure that's been coming in from Taxer in that mid lane, but definitely something that's going to be concerned about. You don't want to lose this early game and have the snowball of the mid game, because you need your Kog'Maw to get items. If he doesn't get items, then he's kind of not that great.
And this is what I was talking about. well, what I started talking about just before those fights in the mid lane is that usually you think, no, they've got no pressure in the bottom lane, but because you've got Taxer on the Camille, you're able to lock down the bottom lane so much easier because of that ultimate. So if you get that roaming squad going with the Talia and with the Camille, it becomes absolutely devastating and near impossible for the side of Hyperion to deal with. It's really going to be on schedule to try and read the map, and right now he's doing it incredibly well.
Yeah, we see there now we're going to jump in onto Dual, who is going to get a little bit of a re-engage coming in. Pops the Great Health, puts down the Ignite, and here comes Taxer on the backside of that along with the Talia. They're going to have to be forced to use the stopwatch on the side of Skedden. Nice counter engage coming out from the side of XL. They've definitely picked up the pace a little bit. They're not letting this Jarvan take over.
And there's that two-man squad I was just talking about. They are able to move the Talia down. They have the pressure in the mid lane because they've got that extra little bit of mana control, and now they're able to make the play happen as well. So this is what Hyperion needs to be careful of, making those plays when you've got Chroma on level 6, because you really can't deal with the amount of pressure that comes through, particularly with Taxer coming in as well.
Yeah, we see both ultimates expended in that top side as well, so both of these top laners going to be pretty, you know, non-aggressive for the next while until both of those are back up. One's kind of a hard engage one, the other one's a hard disengage, so they've kind of just countered each other. But that little bit of pressure now in the bot side means that Venzer and Duel definitely get a little bit more kind of time to push up and to keep this Kog'Maw stacking, keep him going towards that Rage Blade and those big items.
And that's why we're seeing so much pressure onto the mid lane, is that Talia is really the key for them surviving this mid lane, or mid game even. And if she's behind, that's where you'll be able to see Hyperion start to take over before the rest of XL hit their stride. So, but they haven't been able to now, and this is going to be a big factor. I say they have been able to now, which means it's going to be a big factor for Hyperion to try and shut down. And I don't really know if they have the tools to do it right now. They're 2-1 on the Talia, and this is exactly the person that you want to have the kills on right now.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, the Talia is going to be a lot scarier coming into this. And we see actually double buffs were transferred over to Cromel as well. So much pressure, so much that he can do with this as well. But if you're on the side of Hyperion, you don't panic, you just reset, look for those engages. Skedden is still very much ahead of the curve in terms of items. He just needs to try and find the right movements.
Yeah, he has been having a fantastic game so far, trying to put so much pressure down. Unfortunately, it's been answered quite well by XL, but he's definitely looking to see if he can make the plays, and that's what he wants to do. He said it already, he needs to be the one getting those engages down, but Taxer actually might have found a wild Braum, but would just be looking to clear out the vision.
Yeah, Braum does not want to battle. He wants to back away and get away from this one completely. He wouldn't do much against a Camille, even if it is a jungle Camille. But XL setting up vision this bot side. It looks like they're going to go for another roam. TP is available for Sendo. They may just have to expend it. They have a little window where the Poppy would not be able to answer, but they need to act in the next 30 or so seconds.
It's actually going to be on the Talia that they're trying to get. You can see Mr. Gun was able to keep him there just a little bit, making sure that he couldn't get the ultimate off quite yet. So they're not going to look for the dive, but that potential is always there. And that's why you're seeing Hyperion play so passively in the bottom side of the map. They're trying to just keep themselves safe and avoid giving over the kills, but that tower is slowly being worked down and chipped away on because of it.
We've seen now exactly how the teams want to progress. We're coming up to 10 minutes. It's pretty much an equal game. Kills on either side stacked on one person. And that's kind of the big thing as well. If these were evenly spread out, you'd see a little advantages in all lanes maybe for both sides, but it's just a massive advantage for the side of XL's mid laner, as well as a massive advantage for Skedden in that jungle. So, but what I like about Taxer right now, and he showed it in the previous game as well, and we saw last week, he's not afraid. He's not afraid despite having a botched engage, despite having gone a little bit too ham once or twice. He's still looking to try and make engages happen. He's still looking to try and find people out and get those people going.
And that's something that we have to commemorate. Oh, actually, as I say that, he goes in a little bit too aggressive again.
Yeah, burns the flash though of Mr. Gun, so not a bad trade.
Yeah, it burns his own as well, but it's definitely more useful to burn that on the rise. This is something that I want to point out is that he is making the plays, but that's because they've got such a definite game plan. It's use the Camille's ultimate to be that nuisance, lock people down, and let the rest of your damage dealers come through. That's what I was saying, was that you're not able to make that pressure on the bottom side of the map until you have a Camille in the jungle. You're not able to utilize that roam as efficiently when you've got your Tam Kench and the Talia coming down, but suddenly you do because of Taxer's play. So this is where he's playing with confidence, because he knows that this is exactly how their game plan is going to work. And so far, it has been working in their favor. Even if it's only a slight 300 gold lead, they have been able to influence the map and shut down a lot of Hyperion's play.
And that's all it is about. It's about being on the trigger, being proactive. Like we talked about in the previous game, we want to see these teams get a little bit more proactive rather than reactive. And right now, Dan is starting to lose out in this top side a little bit. Gonna have the Glacial Shroud and the Sheen upgraded into an Iceborne Gauntlet fairly soon for the Nasus. So Sendo gonna be feeling fairly confident coming into these mid-game fights, and also being able to push out the Poppy as he pleases.
Woodley TPing back from the top side for Nasus, so the TP advantage is now with Dan XD. See if they do decide to make a play around that, but without Drake the only thing really on the board right now, it's very difficult for Hyperion to force XL out of their home. They're turtling up right now, making sure they're just keeping the tower safe, and this is all they need to do. I mean, you can even see how defensive a build the Nasus has gone for. Sendo's opted for the Iceborne Gauntlet, so even then he's going to be so difficult to take down, but he knows he can do it because, maybe not as much time.
Here we go. It's going to be the Cataclysm using the concussive blows as well, but there's Dan as well. He's going to get the stun. Double kill for the Ezreal, and Hyperion are coming out swinging. They're going to look for first turret.
And that's what I said, they were playing safe for so long, but the second they step out of line...
Oh dear. Not exactly the response you needed on the side of Hyperion, but now they lose all this pressure. They're going to lose this first turret, I feel, and that's only a matter of time. Yes, it looked like a great play at the start, but it's turned into a little bit of a misstep as XL are just a little bit ahead of the curve.
Yeah, now you've got Sendo wailing away on this turret. They aren't able to get the bottom lane turret. They don't get the dragon. So all at the end of the day they really get is 2 kills onto the Ezreal. Now, that is nothing to sniff at. Having that extra little bit of gold onto the Ezreal who wants to hit the later game is going to be fantastic, but you definitely would have preferred if you could have picked up a few objectives alongside that. Although, looking at Ezreal, he's going to be opting for the Iceborne Gauntlet as well, so very fearful of Sendo chasing him down, or Taxer getting in his way and forcing him.
We'll see exactly how they go for it, but right now it is definitely looking like XL came out the better despite such good proactive play. And as I say that, though, Skedden gonna actually end up being taken down. Venzer, such a huge amount of damage, and that's just poor play coming out from the Hyperion jungler, just not respecting that damage.
Yeah, mistakes were made. I like, he walks up so confidently and realizes his mistake straight away after the first 2 hits. It's like, oh, no, sorry.
Yeah, it's like one of those things of like, you can just see it, like, you know, at this moment he knew he messed up.
Exactly. It will mean that it's going to be the first turret going over, especially if that Kog'Maw's hand has the Gwynsu's completed. Going to be working up, I'm assuming, towards that Runa's Hurricane as well, because he doesn't really need to worry too much about the Wit's End right now. Not a huge amount of AP damage coming through on the opposite side, so he'll be working up to be that team fight monster, which is going to be great when you've got Sendo pushing in the top lane, Taxer as you're engaged, huge amount of disengage and safety coming through from the Tam Kench. Becomes, I was going to say, hard to do so, but they're finding it anyway.
Yeah, we're going to have to see a little bit of engage. Good Cataclysm means we're going to see Venzer forcing to use his stopwatch, and that's going to be more kills going over. Good 5-man push. They're actually going to keep chasing on this as well with the Ezreal ult. They're not quite able to find anybody just yet. Nice little move backwards, and that's going to be a couple more kills and potentially this mid lane turret going over to the side of Hyperion.
Yeah, but they are losing their top lane tier 2, and this is the problem. They left these plays too long. Nasus now has that Iceborne Gauntlet. The Sheen will tear through these structures. Poppy desperately trying to get back, but they've already lost it. They haven't even picked up the mid lane turret. They're making the plays, but they're still falling behind.
It's macro versus micro, and right now it looks like the macro is being won by the XL team. They've just got so much happening for them, and Sendo, oh dear.
He knows. He knows something going on.
Yep, Skedden. Oh, he's used his... Oh, this is going to end badly. Well, here it is. Oh, even worse!
No!
Why? bomb. Oh, he's still alive. Never mind. He's dead now. And now it's Dual who comes in to help take out that red buff. And Sendo, he's just feeling good right now.
That is so sad. It's like, you know, when Jaws is sitting in the water and the guy doesn't know he's there. You know it's just not going to end well. And actually, speaking of...
Yeah, as I say that, Ignite goes down. Going to be able to devour him, but Poppy's on the other side. And Poppy picks up that kill. Nicely done there. Nice rotation. Canthian surprise, not going to be able to do much onto Mistogun, but now what can they do with it? Hyperion, they're not missing out on kills, they're missing out on objectives, and they keep missing out on objectives.
Yeah, they still aren't able to find anything, and the Rift Herald goes over, they don't pick up mid lane, and this is the thing, Talia is so good at the wave clear that it's incredibly hard for them to try and push in against her. So unless they have something like that Baron buff towards the later stages of the game to really push on towards these turrets and start to knock down structures, they're going to struggle time and time again. So Taxer and Sendo are free to open up the map, pick up like the likes of the Rift Herald, and now you can see that they're going to struggle again as the Rift Herald will be making its way towards mid lane. You're going to have that Nasus should be making his way towards the bottom lane to see if he can pick up that another tier 2 tower for his name, but right now he's trying to threaten the inhib turret instead.
Yeah, trying to see if he can get any kind of pressure on, and that's all he has to do. He just has to keep pushing, keep looking for those little kind of, you know, gaps in the armor of Hyperion and really push them back as much as he possibly can, but it's just not really looking great for the side of Hyperion. They're getting kills. That's something they have got, but they're just not able to keep up with the macro. I feel like if they get one or two good chain reactions as such, they should be fine, as Mistogun and Krumel going to be pushing into each other. And Taxer, oh dear. Mistogun going to be able to use his ultimate to get out, but Taxer uses Flash and his to clear it back up, and this is not looking good right now. No, as I say that though, Taxer might have gotten caught out. I think he will have been. Yep, there we go. Gonna be a nice little flash there. We're gonna see a little bit more of an engage. One more little hit, and that's a nice little bit of a duo play from the side of Hyperion. But again, while that was all happening, they lose another objective.
Yeah, and this is just going to continue to happen until they can try and shut down all this pressure that's coming through from Excel. The mid lane has been cracked, and that's even without the use of... Oh no, here comes Tal. Oh, he misses!
Dan XD will fall, flashing and everything, but it's just not enough. That's upsetting. Mistiming it and ends up taking his life, or losing his life because of it. And damn, ripping pepperonis. Oh, I think you've turned into a little bit of a robot there, Rob. I can't exactly hear anything you're saying. I don't know if it's my internet or yours. I will hopefully be able to help it out, but would you be able to speak again at all? Nope, I think he's gone, ladies and gentlemen. I think he's just gone for a little bit of a walk. Oh, there you are. Hello. Rob, are you with us? I don't know what you're saying, Rob. It's all a big mess of robot noise, unfortunately. Might need to see a replay. I might have to disconnect from Discord and come back in. So give me a moment. I will back up and come back in. We'll hopefully have fixed this. So, are you back here? Are you back here, Rob? Are you here with us?
Yeah, that definitely sounds a lot better now.
That is both of us sounding a hell of a lot better. And thank you for joining us. Thank God nothing happened. Okay.
It's so nice when the teams are considerate towards the casters, you know. Look, guys, we're going to take a little bit of a breather, let the guys sort their stuff out, and now we're ready to get back into the action.
Absolutely, and that's exactly what we want to see from, you know, the good fair playness coming out from these teams. But like you were trying to say, I imagine, was just like losing objectives but gaining kills. How do they change this? Hyperion need to kind of come up with a solution that means that they can still get the kills but also get something on the map.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's so difficult to do. Oh, he's sidestepped.
Oh, Dan. Dan is in a hell of a lot of trouble again. He's going to be beaten up and spat out. But as I say that, though, Tax are going to jump in on top of EU Twisted. And now it's actually going to be a full 5-on-5 fight as Israel gets obliterated immediately. Camille's the next one to fall down. Mistogun comes into the fight a little bit late, but Venzer is shredding on top of this team. He's going to be able to take out so much of their health bars. And XL find themselves on a 6,000 gold lead.
I love the way Excel are utilizing this TAM. It's been quite some time before I've seen a team use that TAM Kench ultimate as proactively as they are, and look at how much they're picking up with it. Moving Benzer all over the map to pick up alongside this Sendo all these structures, and this is, I was talking about Sendo being on his own as Flipper draw.
Oh, Benzer! And he's back out again! He's going for another one! Double kill! Does he go for the triple? He has got another little bit of mana just to chuck in. They will pick up duel as a little bit of a trade. Benzer gonna back away. They didn't quite feel comfortable going in on top of that, but my god, Benzer just kept going and going and going and going.
If you had only just tuned into this game, you'd be like, well, this Kog'Maw is fed. If you looked at this game 5 minutes ago, that Kog'Maw was 1-3. He has just opened the gates, opened everything, and is just throwing aside the HP bars of Hyperion and showing that, you know what, Kog'Maw has hit the late game.
Yeah, already. Has already got those 3 items. Didn't even need those kills realistically for that. Just the pure pressure around the map from XL and Hyperion. They're really struggling.
Yeah, there's no way for them to deal with it. That was what I wanted to say before Benzer started on his massacre. But they have no way to deal with everyone just rotating around the map. Taxer is able to start moving through the jungle first because he's got the slingshot, or sorry, the hookshot even to get over the wall. And they've just got the likes of Talia, the Tam Kencho to bring alongside the Kog'Maw. And time again, they're getting caught out where they think that they're just in a split push against Sendo, but instead it's every member of Excel is coming down and Hyperion are late to the party.
Every single time, Dan just seems to be getting caught out as well, and there's nothing he can do against Sendo, who has got a ZZ Rot, actually has an upgraded Relic Shield now, I think. Yep, he does. It's now a Targon's Brace, and I just don't know how to say this, but it's just every time we think Hyperion have made a good move, it's just completely cancelled out by just exceptional macro play coming out from XL.
Yeah, we've seen it. We could see them trying to make those plays in the early game. They had Skedden all over the map. He was in mid. He was mid several times. In bot, into top lane. Couldn't find an answer to keep up with Taxer, to keep up with this Talia. And now he's just been wiped off the map again.
Yeah, Skedden went from 3-2, is now 5-6, but EU Twisted forced to flash away, didn't want to quite, you know, get caught there, but while this is all happening, Mistogun was forced to go back. He's the one who has to deal with Sendo, and I don't honestly think he can. One more bop should do it, and that is just going to be Sendo saying, send one, send all. I will take everybody on. It's just becoming a ridiculous problem right now. And as I say that, here we go. Here's the fight to end it all, as it's going to be Kog'Maw flashing forward with Krumel, just trying to get 1, trying to get 2, nearly able to get 3. And they're going to be able to jump straight on top of EU Twisted as actually he takes on 1, maybe able to take on 2. Not quite. No, not able to take him out, unfortunately. And now this is all happening. Skedden went back after dying. Respawning, now going to go up against the Nasus. He might have been able to kill him. Would still be able to kill him, but he has to deal with these minions and this ZZ Rot, and it's just not a fun time for Hyperion. I feel like it's just a matter of when they get taken down rather than if they get taken down.
Yeah, Excel have fully put on the chokehold right now. How do you try and match this team? The split push from DanXD is falling to Sendo. The team fights of the rest of the team are falling to the prowess of this Kog'Maw. 7 kills, the Wits incompleted, now working up towards that Blade of the Rune King. You've got nowhere on the map to try and push your advantage, and it's the slow pressure that's starting to kill them. Sendo pushing in with that Zerat portal. You have the rest of the team threatening the Baron at all points in time. You have no answer, you're just being pulled across the map.
Yeah, being pulled in every single direction just means that there's just very little for them to do and very little for them to take, as we see Taxer coming in, trying to find something onto Skedden to really cement this Baron play. But I must admit, Hyperion, they haven't been taken down just yet, but they need something massive from EU Twisted. I feel like it needs to be a monumental effort from him. He needs to pick up several kills. He needs to be able to kill Sendo, and he needs to be able to do it soon.
But you can see he is trying. I mean, even in that last fight, he was the last remaining member, managed to take down the Camille, was looking to get the Talia as well, but she's so far ahead at this stage, and Dan, that's the last of your mana, will end up booting Sendo out and take him to safety.
Yeah, Sendo did flash as well, so no flash, no ultimate available for Sendo. Both ultimates will be up relatively soon. We'll have to see now, where do XL go? They look like they're just going to try pressure this in again. Look for that move. Only one Nexus turret remains as I say that though. And oh no, Skedden! He's going to be forced to use his own ultimate. He forces his own flash, but in the end, it's all for naught. Doesn't even do any damage. Now Sendo may be in a little bit of trouble as he gets a little bit caught up now. Mistogun trying to try and force him back, but they can't kill him. That's the big thing. He's still a relevant threat while the rest of XL are on Baron.
Yeah, and now how do you deal with the Nasus, who's been such a nuisance when he's got the Baron buff as well? This has just gone from bad to worse. XL are backing away, and now they're going to start to push on towards the base. That Baron dance has been shut down, and now the towers are next on their agenda.
Yeah, they're going to go back, pick up those one or two half items left to really push them into this. And look at the gold difference. Like, mid lane, 3,000 gold. Top lane, nearly 5,000 gold. In that top lane alone, Sendo has just been taking Dan and saying, you know what? I don't care what you do. I'm going to do my own thing and still win. And it's just so difficult to play, and I feel like Dan XD, he needs another champion. Honestly, this Poppy, like you said in the pregame, it's just not good enough, and he needs to find something else, because right now he is a really big hole in the side of Hyperion.
And that's the thing, if you know that he's going to go with the Poppy, well then great, you can just go for picks like the Nasus that do so well into it. And Hyperion have shown that they can't really play an early game or press an early game advantage enough to try and carry them through and shut down these late game scaling teams. And that is a big issue for them when they're playing up against the likes of XL and these teams that have been doing fantastic in this league. There's just no hope for them.
No hope, but we'll have to wait and see. The final assault will be happening fairly soon. The 1-3-1 split push coming out from the side of XL. They've got Baron buff. Sendo back in the bot lane. Back at it again with the bot lane split push, and definitely trying to do something with this. He's going to be able to take that inhibitor turret fairly easily by himself while the rest of XL pressure the other lanes. There it is, down and out. Level 17 versus level 14. That's how far ahead Sendo is. That's how much he is just doing for his team right now. And Talia now forcing the Rise to go deal with her. There's just so much pressure from all sides. It's just a matter of when the dam breaks.
Yeah, Tax is going to try and force that right now.
Yeah, here we go. They're going to try to go for it. Not a great unbreakable, but they are going to try and jump onto Sendu, but straight away he has been devoured and kept safe as Daijin just not able to do much there in this fight. He's able to try and keep everybody away. Good Cataclysm means that Taxer will not fall. Does get devoured at the very last second. Kog'Maw's not even in this fight. He's pushing up the mid lane. They're going to force summoners. They're going to be able to take more and more off of this team as the rest of XL just dominate this game. It was a little bit shaky in the early game, but they made it work in the end. That's going to be a clean win after 15 minutes, if you want to call it that, for the side of XL over Hyperion.
Yeah, XL answered everything that Hyperion put towards them. They had the pressure in the mid lane, but it was just about shut down by Taxer and his co-companion. They weren't really able to do very much in the bot lane either. That was again shut down. And once they hit that late game point, once the Poppy left lane to try and find these 5-man fights, Hyperion couldn't get the objectives, which left the Nasus open to farm, and he just continued to take turret after turret and opened up the rest of the game for his team. They were able to carry through with the Kog'Maw, and the damage that came through at the end was just sickening.
Yeah, absolutely crazy. And ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back very, very shortly with our third game of the night. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you guys soon.